Formula One is a sport that demands perfection from every aspect of the car, and even the slightest design flaw can make a significant difference on the track. Recently, Lewis Hamilton has complained about the cockpit position of his Mercedes W14, citing it as a significant factor for his discomfort in the car compared to his teammate George Russell. In this video, we'll delve into the reasons behind Hamilton's F1 cockpit complaints and explore the impact of the cockpit position on the W14's performance. The Mercedes team has been very open about the fact that their W14 car has not met their expectations. This has led to a change in their development program as they work to recoup some of the performance they had expected to gain on their rivals this season. However, it has become clear that the issues with the car go beyond just performance on the track. One of the fundamental design flaws that Mercedes is facing is the position of the cockpit. Lewis Hamilton, who drives for Mercedes, has been critical of the approach the team has taken with the new regulations. He revealed that the cockpit is too far forward, which makes it harder to predict the car's movement, and he feels like he is sitting on the front wheels while driving. This feeling can be quite uncomfortable and make it challenging to control the car during races. The position of the cockpit has a significant impact on the car's weight distribution, suspension, and aerodynamics. The decision on where to place the cockpit has a knock-on effect up and down the car, and it's not an easy fix. It would require even more of an overhaul in terms of the car's layout. This is because the upper side impact protection structures, SIPS, have been housed within a mid-wing on both the W13 and W14. The upper SIPS have a 50mm window in which they can be fixed, but that's also dictated by the position of the cockpit, resulting in the structures having to be placed further rearward if Mercedes had opted to shift the cockpit further back in 2023. That would also result in changes to the side pod design and might well have led to the total abandonment of Mercedes' current scheme. The position of the front axle is also a factor in the corresponding feeling that Hamilton gets from the W14. This decision is driven by regulation and requires the axle to be within a 100mm longitudinal window behind the front bulkhead. For comparison, Red Bull's already more rearward cockpit position not only places its drivers further from the front axle, but it has also created more space in the area beneath the driver, allowing it to take some of the electronics and other ancillaries usually housed within the confines of the side pods and place them under the chassis instead. The cockpit position is just one of the design flaws that Mercedes is facing with the W14 car. It's a complicated issue that affects many different areas of the car's design, and it cannot be easily fixed during the season. Mercedes will need to take a significant overhaul approach as they prepare their next challenger. The position of the front axle plays a significant role in how the car handles on the track. The regulations require the axle to be within a 100mm longitudinal window behind the front bulkhead, which is a crucial constraint that affects the overall design of the car. The front axle's position also affects the weight distribution, suspension, and aerodynamic relationship with the front wing, floor, and side pods. The handling of the car is closely linked to the position of the front axle. The closer the axle is to the driver, the more sensitive the car will be to steering inputs, making it more nimble and responsive. However, this can also make the car more unstable, especially at high speeds. On the other hand, if the axle is further away from the driver, the car will be more stable but less responsive. In terms of aerodynamics, the position of the front axle affects the airflow over the front wing, which is crucial for generating downforce. The front wing creates a low pressure zone underneath, which sucks the car towards the track, providing grip and improving handling. However, if the airflow is disrupted, the downforce generated by the front wing will be reduced, affecting the car's overall performance. The position of the front axle also affects the airflow under the car's floor, which is important for creating a ground effect that improves the car's grip and handling. The airflow under the floor is influenced by the position of the front axle, and any changes to the axle's position will affect the car's performance. The position of the front axle is a crucial factor in the design of a Formula One car. It affects a car's handling, weight distribution, and aerodynamics, and designers need to carefully balance these factors to achieve the best performance on the track. When it comes to the design of the Red Bull car, the most noticeable difference compared to the Mercedes W14 is a more rearward cockpit position. This design feature not only affects the weight distribution and aerodynamics of the car, but also creates more space beneath the driver. Red Bull has taken advantage of this extra space by relocating some of the electronic components and other ancillaries that are usually housed within the side pods. By placing them under the chassis, Red Bull have been able to make the side pods slimmer, which in turn helps to reduce drag and improve the car's overall performance. The more rearward cockpit position also places Red Bull's drivers further away from the front axle. This difference in driver position affects the handling of the car, particularly in terms of turn-in and mid-corner grip. Additionally, the position of the front wing and floor in relation to the front axle is different in the Red Bull car compared to the Mercedes. This variation impacts the aerodynamic performance of the car, particularly in terms of how it generates downforce. The differences between the designs of the Mercedes W14 and the Red Bull car highlight the importance of finding the optimal balance between weight distribution, aerodynamics, and handling. It also demonstrates how small design changes can have a significant impact on a car's performance on the track. In conclusion, the position of the cockpit and front axle are critical factors that can have a significant impact on a Formula One car's performance. The Mercedes W14 design flaws in these areas have made it challenging for the team to optimize the car's setup and get the most out of it on the track. However, Formula One is a dynamic sport, and teams are continually working to improve their cars throughout the season. Mercedes has already begun to explore solutions to the W14's design issues, and it will be interesting to see how they adapt and evolve their car throughout the season. As always, competition in Formula One is fierce, and Mercedes will face stiff competition from their rivals, particularly Red Bull, who have already demonstrated impressive pace and consistency. The battle for the championship is shaping up to be an exciting one, and we can expect to see some thrilling racing throughout the season.